All of these vehicles you see behind me, I attempted to buy, but the dealership was not willing to sell them because they are in big trouble. I decided to come out to the auction today to see firsthand of how bad the inventory is out here. When we're looking at condition reports online, we're seeing all sorts of issues. So I'm wondering, is the used car market inventory that's available right now really as bad as it looks like online? Now, you guys know I'm super picky, and us being less than 2.5 years old, the only way that we're getting inventory right now is a couple different ways. We are buying things off the street from people who are driving to us, and we can inspect their car and we make a cash offer. Most of them are coming from auction. A lot of them are new dealer car trade-ins that we are buying from auction. And thirdly, the only other way that we can get cars is by taking them in on trade. And since we don't have a huge customer base because of the age of our dealership, we don't have a lot of trade-ins. So that makes us have to buy cars here at auction. Not all cars that come to auction are bad or rejects. They're here for a reason. Certainly right now in this market, man, there's a lot of junk out here. All right, this first one I want to show you, I was really interested in seeing it because this is a repo. Apparently this person spent all their money on the car modifications over paying their payment. Sadly, the world that we live in, we are more worried about what people think about us than we are to do our responsibilities. This Honda Civic, which I was excited to see because at first glance you look at it, you're like, oh man, 18 Honda Civic, sweet. Wrong. Look what they did. They drilled through there. They got tie downs on it. They have all sorts of mashed up, bashed up front bumpers right here. Goofy wheels. It's like I said, it's a repo. So, yep, been smoked in. Who knows what's going on here. They do have a key. Trim, not a big deal. That can be doable. Oh, that's what that is right there. They glued this on so they can have like probably a Honda logo or something pop up here. We got a horrible window tint. Oh, no, that's not horrible window tint. That's just a straight scratch in the glass. So the glass needs to be replaced. Again, smells like smoke. Very nasty. And look at the spoiler. I mean, this is really good for aerodynamics. We gotta love this right here. And I don't know if they've said this, but let's start it up. I bet. Oh yeah, we knew they're gonna have to be exhaust modifications. And one thing that I didn't notice originally when I came in here is look at this. This is how they wired their radio system. They didn't even tuck the wire correctly. So let's look under in that trunk, and it doesn't open. Damn it. All right, unsuccessful of getting the trunk open. But looking at the engine, we have a K&N air filter. We have some sort of light right there and pretty shoddy speaker wire engagement. I imagine there's probably no subs or anything in this car, but this thing's only got 90,000 miles for an 18. You know this thing ain't worth nothing at all. Nobody is ever going to buy this car because there's so much work to do on it to make it right, to make it resellable. This is just one of the things that we saw here at auction. So I'm really interested to see this Ford Fusion. This Ford Fusion has got a condition report of 3.5. And if you don't know, it starts at 0 and goes to 5.0. And 5.0 doesn't mean a perfect car. It just means minimal recondition. So 3.5 is typically what we buy and above. Usually we want to do 4.0 and above, but we'll look at 3.5. So this is something that would be in our matrix of buying. I don't know how this would be considered a 3.5. This is not a paintless dent repair. This is an entire door panel that needs to be replaced. As much as I would like to do that, we can. The bad dealers out there would probably do what's called push to paint, and they would PDR this enough to be able to repaint it, which means that they would Bondo the entire door. And being that this is on the driver door and you're doing this all the time, that means in just a year or so down the road that Bondo is going to start breaking down and cracking and making this door panel look crazy. So this is what you would be buying at a used car dealership, is something like this and uninspectedly no. But this is just one of the major things on this car that is a 3.5 condition report. We got nasty window tint, where window tint's not that big of a deal. Window tint on a back window is horrible to get off. That could possibly just start peeling off in chunks. So you're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of getting that off. Maybe window tint people out there can do it faster, but we can't. Nothing too crazy in here. A few stains. Don't see hardly any smells or anything like that. We have this all busted up, not a big deal. You can get these on eBay for pretty cheap, and we actually do have a full key. So repos a lot of the times don't come with a proper key. They get a key that's just enough to start the car, so that way the repo company can just get rid of it and move on. But this is a Ford Fusion with push to start, so luckily we get a Ford key fob that goes with this car as well, if we were to choose to buy this one, which we're not. And also on this vehicle, moving over to the fender, again, another bashed-in thing. Maybe a paintless dent repair, but probably needs a new fender. And to paint it, you can see the dent down there. That's on that crease, so it's going to make it really hard to fix. And of course, we got crappy window tint back here again as well. To do this right, to fix it up and resell it, you're probably looking at minimum of $2,000 in repairs to do it right, to make sure that customers down the road don't experience issues and have negative connotations on the car that they bought. So, which is why our mantra is buying a car doesn't have to suck, because when we look at cars like this, we try to think of the future with that particular customer, with that particular car, so that way they want to come back and do business with us, and that way they have a good experience with cars. And over the last couple years that I started Mike's Car Store, we're pretty fortunate that we do have a good reputation of selling good cars. We haven't had too many issues, knock on wood. Another issue that we have with some current cars right now is dealers are underwater or upside down in their inventory, so they're trying to sell it, which just isn't going to work out. We have this awesome Honda Ridgeline back here that we wanted to buy. Grant is a huge Honda guy, right? And Hondas right now are having some major issues with their engines and their stop sales, so you can't sell these cars on the open market, or you shouldn't ethically sell them. We wanted to look at a Honda Ridgeline that we thought would be a very good vehicle to purchase and to resell, because it's a Honda Ridgeline.
After much searching,
well, I can't find the Honda Ridgeline. It was just right back there. I even was like, I looked at it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put that later in the video because it has an interesting story on that Ridgeline. And that's why I was talking about how dealers are underwater in their cars and they're in trouble. Every single one of those vehicles, where you can see where that guy's standing, 2 full rows, actually 4 rows, 2 sections, 4 full rows are cars that did not sell today at auction. So to kind of give you an idea, 2013 Honda Ridgeline with 129,000 miles, retail value on this car is $16,500. Manheim Market Report, what you're supposed to go off of when you're buying cars. Well, one of the tools, not supposed to go off, but one of the tools to use is $11,600. The highest bid, which was us, was at $12,900. We only wanted to put $12,400 in it, and they no-sailed it. They said, nope, we don't want it. So a vehicle that has an MMR of $11,600 bid up by us to $12,900, and they said, no sale. So there's different ways. Sold, no sale, if. Sold, obviously self-explanatory. We bought it. If sale is, hey, it didn't hit reserve, but we're gonna contact the seller and see if, right, they will sell it to you, or we can continue negotiating and come to an agreement. And then no sale is exactly that, no sale. So they just no-sailed this at $1,300 over MMR. Insane. Dealers are in trouble. And then we come to these 2 rows right here. Every single one of these are Stellantis vehicles. Oh, there's a Kia. But every other one of them is a Stellantis vehicle. Stellantis vehicle. More Stellantis vehicles. This row right up here. See the Jeep there? They're all over. Dodge Ram right there. If you're trying to buy something or you own something that is Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, good luck. It didn't sell before the pandemic. The pandemic gave them a little bit of life in their vehicles, and now they're back to pre-pandemic issues of not selling. Just absolute junk cars. You can see we got a Dodge Caravan. We got a Jeep over there. We have more stuff. Where did I just pass one? I just passed something up over here. That Cherokee. All this good stuff that is seemingly good miles, good condition, just isn't selling at all in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely insane. We've tried. We don't have any good luck with any of stuff like the Jeep Compasses or the Latitudes or anything like that. And the old trusty, reliable 2015 Honda CR-V with only 77,900 miles on it. Absolutely beautiful car. It's an EXL. It's got leather, sunroof. This is a car that sells so quick. And sadly, somebody was driving this car and enjoying it, and they got tapped in the rear end. and you can see a little bit of damage down there, but this is what you call structural damage. This is frame damage. Somebody is going to find this vehicle, purchase it, and resell it. And that is a big no-no in my world. We would never do that. Look how that pan is buckled. And then you can see that this back here is not looking very good either. All day long, I can walk around this auction and just show you absolute junk of what's for sale. And where there is a lot of junk at auctions from time to time, it's a lot more prevalent in this day and age. It's absolutely insane of how much junk is at auction for sale right now. And just like the Honda, hey, there it is, the Ridgeline. This guy just pulled it back in. He's right in there. Just like this vehicle, when they are in nice condition, they are going for crazy money, or the selling dealer wants a crazy amount of money for it that is not conducive for us to purchase it, pay auction fees. In this case, we don't have to pay shipping, but typically we do, and then try to resell it for a profit. Just doesn't work. This is a super nice truck. We really want this truck. And looking at it, the only thing that it really needs done is headlight restoration, which is $90. Nothing of a big deal. Interior wise, it's fairly clean. No smell, nothing crazy. Great radio, great options. Everything about this truck is just absolutely amazing. Got the floor mats back there, got the tonneau cover. This is a great truck. A little bit of bump in the bumper there, not a big deal, easy fix, 200 bucks to fix that. So this is a good truck. Needs tires on it, so there's $1,000 there, but outside that, this is a good truck. But sadly, the dealership just wants way too much for it. Meanwhile, back at the car lot right now, we're looking at a Gen 2 Pilot with the timing belt done, and current bid is $8,300. It's gonna sell for $10,995 max, really about $10,800. And then of course, you know, you have reconditioning, you have transport, you have auction fees in there. So there's hardly any room for profit at $8,300 if this thing sells for that. And the reason why is because they paid too much for it. So they want to try to recoup their money and get it from someone else. And once it's out of their hands, it's out of their hands. They don't have to worry anything about it. So this is exactly what is at auction today. And it's only gonna get worse.